Skadoosh. Today's a fun video. We are going to take a look at the effects of reprints and also some bans. What happens with the card price? Well, let's start with Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer. Started out really hot, man. This card at one point was an $80 card, just through the roof crazy. At one point, the borderless Ragavan in foil was like over $120. Everything was just bonkers with this card. But then we got a reprint. March of the Machine came. I guess reprints are a good thing, reprints are a bad thing. I guess it depends on how you're looking at it. Then we have the Halo foil. Unbelievable. All the way up as high as, well, this guy's asking $189. This card was about it was like 180 when it first dropped, and then it way came down in price, settled around 120, and then it is where you see it now, sitting at $99. The craziest one of all of them is the serial numbered card. This one was over like $1,200 at a release, and now down to about $700. Not a lot of market data on that one because it doesn't sell too often. Cabal Coffers. We're focusing mostly, I don't know if you noticed this, we're focusing a lot on Modern Horizons 2. And I'm going to do a battle after this. Cabal Coffers, originally printed in Torment. As an uncommon, Plane Chase came around. And yeah, right now, this is the current price, $22 in Modern Horizons 2. I remember when it dropped, I think it was like $30-40. The extended version over here. But then a reprint came. It was a mythic, and it was rather scarce to get. But then came Mystery Booster 2, which as you see, now it's sitting at $16 if you want to get yourself a copy. Right around here, a little bit of a dip there. It comes from the Mystery Booster being reprinted. But white border, I don't think it caused the price of Cabal Coffers to dip too much, just because it was white border. Then we're gonna get up into Murktide Regent. Market price now today, $12.98. And then the list reprint came. And that dropped the value a bit. Murders at Karlov Manor. Look at that huge dip, all the way from $13, dipped down when Karlov came out to $10.69. This was available in the promo packs only. If you could find a Murktide Regent Secret Lair Showdown, wow. $3,000. Subtlety, currently sitting at $6.75. Well, what happened to the card? Here's the retro frame, currently sitting at $9. Subtlety, the borderless Modern Horizons. Foil version, $36. Market price $12.89 just for this one. Here's borderless. The special guests came around, and the special guests just swooped into town. They had high hopes. This thing was like $30. Nope. Oh, it tanked way down. The special guests, again, this was the high hope print, $60, all the way down to where it's sitting now at $21 over the course of 1 year. Solitude's gone from $40 all the way down to $10. Well, what happened there? But even like last year, it was sitting around $45 for the non-foil, all the way down to $15. Special guests happened. Not only that, but it saw a little bit less play. The last 6 months, this is when special guests dropped, tanking the value. You can see the steady loss here. And then like where it would have gained a little traction right around here, that's when they did the reprint of the special guests. Here's the textured foil version. High hopes, $80. F's in the comments for those who bought the Subtlety at that price. Now down to about $25. Sword of Hearth and Home. This one has a good story. Had high hopes, first arrived, it was like $25, and the sword plummeted down $8 range. It got the reprint in Lord of the Rings. And since the reprint, it has actually done nothing but slowly climb in price. So hats off to Sword of Hearth and Home for getting a reprint and doing better than you did beforehand. It's probably also sitting more play. Endurance in Modern Horizons 2 took a big drop. At one point being a $35 card, it plummeted. It's now sitting at $7.78. So what happened to it? Special guest reprint happened. It started seeing a little bit less play, but really the special guest is what just put the nail in the coffin for it. And then right around here is when I did get the reprint, and the price just continued to just fall off the chart. Down to $10 for the special guest borderless, and the textured foil is at $22. Shatterfang, this is a 1 year chart. It was once sitting at a bit higher than this. Oh! Shatterfang over here. So again, originally printed in Modern Horizons 2. This was like, yes, we finally get Squirrel Commanders. This is gonna be great. So what happened to it? Well, it was once sitting around $15-20. Here's the retro frame sitting at $7.78. Foil etched now at $10.75. And he dropped to $7 when he got the reprint in Commander Bloomborough. It started gaining traction, and Wizards was like, reprint that! Are reprints a good thing? Are they a bad thing? I gotta hear your guys' opinion on this because, I mean, the community's divided. It's like if you're a collector and a player, but more so a collector, you want the prices to be up. If you're just a player, you want the prices to be a 50-cent card. Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to be safe, just proxy everything. Over $350 one time. Now $270. This is the nicest version you can get. It's the raised foil. Fury's banned in Modern. Back in 2023, it got the ban hammer. This is true. So that was a big impact on Fury just tanking. Almost about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, was once like a $30 card. This card has a good history though, because it started out, it was the least hyped of all of the elementals, but it had the biggest gains out of all the elementals, 10 to 15 bucks, and then climbed up to like 30 to 40. And then it started tanking down from there. Got the ban hammer, card went way down, all the way down to $5 if you have a Fury now. Borderless, $5. Whatever value was left of Fury, it went down the tubes when Special Guest was printed. And that is right here. The Special Guest printed 6 months ago, where Fury just continued on its downfall. And yeah, it just never recovered. Grief is banned in Modern and Legacy because it was too powerful, especially in Legacy. When combined with Reanimate, it just did way too much, man. And this card, again, was another card worth a boatload. Special Guest happened 6 months ago. It's almost like they're like, let's reset the price on this card. And we have the textured foil, which is sitting at $11. Oh my goodness, from 70 to nothing over the last year. It spiked at around $14, all the way down to $3 now for Archon of Cruelty. Got the reprint in Modern Horizons 3. That's where this card took a big dip. Look at that price chart. Oh my, from 14 down to $4. Yeah, it just got annihilated with that reprint. So it lost 70% of its value almost overnight. Modern Horizons 3 again, it was high hopes, started tanking, barely recovering at this point. Wizards is like, we're gonna keep this card down. That's what's gonna happen. So let's just give it a reprint, but not a big reprint. Let's give it a reprint in Commander Duskmourn House of Horrors Showcase version of it. So it's pretty scarce, and that's exactly what they did. Sea and Sky, I think it was 22 bucks upon pre-release weekend. It's at 45 cents now. Well, what happened here? Well, they realized it's just not a powerful merfolk. And what they did because of that is they just reprinted it and said, we don't care. It appeared in Jumpstart 2022. It appeared in Lost Caverns. This one will always be under $1 because this is one of those cards we're just going to keep printing. It will eventually probably be downshifted to a rare. Dakon Shadow Slayer, he's just safe, man. Wizards saw no value in him. They printed him. He was like an $8 card or something. He never recouped that $8 price, not even close. He's down to 34 cents. Here's all the different versions of them. As low as $2 for a foil, 60 cents for a foil version of the showcase. Now we're gonna talk fetch lands, and I'm gonna focus just on Misty Rainforest. So Misty Rainforest originally printed in Zendikar. This was something the community asked for the longest time to get a reprint. Well, it did, but it was very tiny, and that was in Expeditions. This card at one point was over 350 bucks, came down quite a bit. And if you get PSA graded all type, you can see $1,000 Misty Rainforest. Modern Masters 2017 happened, and everyone was like, yay, we got a reprint, a big scale reprint. Misty Rainforest got a reprint again. And that was with the Secret Lair series. And this box, it had all the fetches in it, or 5 of the fetches, and it was like $200 for the longest time. The price after Modern Horizons 2 completely tanked the Secret Lair series. You could buy the entire sealed box now for $120 online. It got another reprint, but not a huge scale though. They're just like kind of like flirting with the value on this card, you know? 36 bucks. Then what happened? Modern Horizons 2 came. The low was about 16 bucks, honestly. I think that maybe was rock bottom for this card. Now they're climbing back up, you know, because there hasn't been a reprint of them for so long. Once it hits about $30, that's when we're going to see a reprint on these. Maybe 25 even, you know. Gosh, that would really tank the value. Here's the extended art for $22.91. Urza Saga and Modern Horizons 2, crazy cool card. It did get some reprint action though, but not in a huge scale though. And you notice there has been a recent dip in this one. Well, what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. The list reprint happened also. This was over a year ago. And that brought the price of it down just a tiny bit, kind of just to stabilize it, to keep it like at an even level for a while. Game Day Store Champion, if you can get your hands on this promo, you're looking at $228 right now. It was really high at $340 when it first dropped, and now it's sitting comfortably around $225. The white border happened. And that is what drove the price down a bit. This is in the last 3 months, the last 2 months this happened. The white border, I can see coming down another maybe like 10, 15%. But here's the pre-release version holding high at 85. Esper Sentinel sitting now at $20.97. This card, I think it was as high as $28. Modern Horizons 2 now at $1942 for the retro frame. And if we look over at the showcase version, it's at $22.12. I think there was fear in the market that Foundations, there was going to be a reprint in Foundations. This is the last 3 months. Dip. And now Foundations, it's been announced, like we already know what's in it. That's when you start to see the price of the card starting to uptick. Here's Dam, and wow, Dam got annihilated, man. In the past year, it looks like it has gained some value. This is true, but man, they kept this card down. The extended art sitting at $4, retro frame at $3, but these are all 1 year charge. Foil etched is at $4. It gained a bit of value. So what happened? Lost Caverns entered. It got the reprint in here, and the price dropped drastically on it. But not only that, all the way down to $1. But another big one was the promo packs. When Karlov Manor came out, the price is slowly starting to recover on that one. The Borderless, this one was just dropped like a month ago, maybe, month and a half ago. And high hopes, $59, not a chance. 27 items sold at $37. Damn, plummeted all the way to $5. Do not buy into the hype pre-release crap, guys. Do not buy cards at pre-release unless you think the card is way undervalued and the whole community is missing something. What happened to Void Waker? Well, if we fast forward a little bit, the list reprint occurred. And that tanked the value on it. Dothy Void Waker was up there as well. It was once like a $15, $20 card. But there's a big dip here. What happened in these last 5-6 months? Recently, what drove the value of it down is the Secret Lair drop series really kicked its butt. And then they even did one more on it with the Game Day. Game Day was before that. And really just annihilated the value in Dothy Void Waker. Anytime a card is doing really good or like it's very popular, you can bet anything that card is going to be reprinted a bunch. And that card, it's going to be hard for it to ever climb to that peak. When it first was announced, when it first released, it's going to be impossible for it to retain that value. It just won't, because Wizards is going to reprint it again and again and again. And if that card is absolutely atrocious, Wizards will reprint it a bunch and sometimes even lower its rarity and stuff like that, where they're like, oh, it's not that good, So to sum this video up, just please don't buy into the hype, when it's release time. If you want to, make a proxy of the card. Wait a little bit before you buy the actual version. If you're really into the card, but the price at release is like $20, $30, don't go out there and spend $30, $40 for a card only to hit $5. It just feels like crap when that happens. Well, thanks guys for tuning in. If you enjoy these kind of videos, I just want you to like the video, because I'll make more of them. The more video, when I see videos with a lot of likes on them, I go back, take a look, and I pump out another video that's similar to that one because you guys enjoyed it. So please leave a like if you did enjoy. Thanks for watching. Joey Moss, Bad Boy Gaming, Skadoosh.